Well, we're live after we missed the first 10 minutes of this podcast. Shout out to Seattle, back on board.
What happened to the other coffee company we had?
There's a bag downstairs. For those of you who know Jimbo,
But
nothing happens fast with old Jimbo.
But we also fairly lazy.
Yeah, we are. Not to blame but ourselves.
Oh man.
Yo.
What a weekend, eh?
Yeah, jeez, bro. It's quite funny. Like I was thinking about it this morning. It's so weird when you get so pumped up, because I think by Saturday morning we were all quite excited and like pumped up and geared up for it.
Yeah.
And you like, there's always that risk that you're gonna leave disappointed,
Yeah.
especially when you're that pumped. And it had a little bit of everything, which I quite enjoyed. Look,
Yeah.
prelims were a little bit of a letdown, but I think we kind of expected that, realistically.
I'm sure there was what was the highlight of the prelims?
Absolutely nothing.
So we obviously had the Swanepoel versus Majuba no contest.
Yeah.
I thought Bradley Swanepoel's performance was pretty decent for a pro debut.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty good.
He was-
It was great, but also like he didn't really have an opponent to really showcase.
Yeah, but I mean it was his debut. So
Bro,
it's like
that kid looked like 12, bro. It's his first
Yeah.
day. Who do you want him to fight? Bro? Must he fight Chuck Liddell off the bell? What's going on here?
no, I thought that was a good performance.
Yeah.
Like if he can get some momentum, I think he'll be
Yeah.
a decent
And
prospect.
it's I always like to see those things. Had his dad, his brother in his corner. Like it's quite like a very famous fighting family in the country. It was cool.
His brother
I enjoyed
hasn't
it.
gone pro yet, though. Hey, I saw him being advertised for MFC. Isn't he fighting Andrew Carruth at MFC? I mean, that's a pretty cool fight. I mean, that fight could happen at pro.
Yeah.
It'll be better than some of the fights you see currently.
That's a maybe you can help explain this, or maybe we don't know the answer at all. How do you think it is that there's, a list of good amateurs out there at the moment? There's a list. I mean, we could name probably 15 if we wanted to,
Yeah.
like really good amateurs. How are those guys not being signed by the EFC when there's guys who clearly should still be in the amateur ranks? Is it an EFC thing, or is it a managerial career thing, do you think?
I think in this day and age, there's quite a lot of reward for being a good amateur. There's zero reward for being a shit amateur.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reward. I mean, you can become a world champion now. You can get into these programs where your federation is developing you into a better mixed martial artist and
Yeah.
so forth. So I think for a lot of these like top level amateurs, they're staying there longer because there's more to fight for, Whereas if they go pro, they're at the bottom of this pretty average market they're currently in. Whereas they can get trips to Bahrain, they can get trips to wherever, Europe and so forth, and they can fight for medals and get their national colours. And so I think a lot of really good amateurs are staying amateur because there's a lot of reward in staying an amateur. Obviously, there's a lot more reward becoming a great pro, So I don't know. It's just probably fine. It's just down to like what they feel comfortable with.
Yeah, it's interesting for me because you saw the two ladies, you saw the opening fight, Robert Swanepoel and Given Majuba. Obviously, we didn't get to see the full details of that fight, but I could name probably another 10 fights you could have put in those places. You know what I mean? The guys that are still amateurs, which is quite interesting to me. I always wonder how those guys got in ahead as pros.
Can
There's
I
a
just
few
say,
others.
in the last podcast, we were saying, someone's O has got to go.
Proved you
We
wrong.
were
boy.
wrong. We were wrong. Someone's
Everyone
O
got a
didn't-
1.
Yeah.
Each got a 1 there.
No one's O went away.
Do you wanna find that picture for me? Just go onto the Facebook page. So, like, I saw this unfolding, and by chance, it was one of the prelims that made it to Facebook. So I wanted to just.
Did not all the prelims make it to Facebook?
I think they did, but there was a couple of streaming problems.
No, it was.
a bit-
After you posted that thing on Facebook
yeah,
today
I
about
saw that. Yeah.
I couldn't actually see it. I tried to watch the fight.
So keep going.
It was so. The streaming was so bad.
Well, the internet's so slow tonight. So look, like this picture that I posted on social media, it's clearly hitting the gut. But then someone else posted like frames before or after where it's looking a bit
It's in the
suspect.
actual comments, I think. Yeah, because
Yeah,
it was like combat sports or something like that.
yeah. I saw that picture somewhere. There, these two here. I don't know what the arrow means.
Yeah, I also don't know what the.
Yeah. Look over here. Nothing to see. So click on one of those. So click on the one where
It is quite low, huh?
that you see, like that frame looks low. Go to the one before. Oh, I know what the arrow's for. He's actually showing where the midline is. That's what he's doing. So go to the other one. It's like, I mean, frame for frame, if you're breaking it down, it looks like it might have actually hit him in the gonads.
Yeah.
Let's see here. But, I mean, also from here, the thing for me is you can't actually see if that's making contact yet.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm
I don't
saying?
know.
Because of the angle, he's just lifting his knee. See what he's done there? He's drawn a line across his belly to show you where his knee is. But that knee could still be coming up without making contact.
Yeah. I don't know. It's. Yeah. You're not convinced, eh?
I don't think so. Seeing it live, it looked like the stomach to me.
Yeah. I agree
It
with you.
100% looked
Live
from
it
where
looked
I
like the
was, it
stomach.
looked like it hit him in the stomach.
Yeah.
I didn't hear cup, I didn't see cup.
Well,
it looked
when
straight
it
stomach to me.
happened, I still turned to Guy and I said, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
He's like, "No, you got a groin strike." And I was like, "What?" Before they got into the clinch.
Yeah,
So he said, "No, in the clinch now." I was like, "I'm sure that knee hit him in the stomach."
yeah, it looked like stomach from cage side.
But then again, I mean, yeah, I don't know. That does.
Anyway, everyone got a 1.
Yeah, it's a sucky way to start the card as well. You know? It's
And in
like,
like 17 seconds. Cheers, mates. We're out of here. Who was the next fight?
it was Swanepoel, wasn't it? The other Swanepoel,
Yeah.
Brady Swanepoel.
Yeah, versus Yebo, who looked like, I don't want to go on a rant saying people look weird, but Yebo doesn't get a Yebo from me. Literally, I saw him throw about 10 seconds of hands, and I was like, oh my god, please don't let this guy fight for too long.
Yeah,
I don't think, he
wasn't the greatest strike.
yeah,
That was his debut, eh?
yeah. Look, he survived the
Well,
round.
what was his amateur record?
Yebo.
Yebo and Tamboy.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. This is the picture of the 3310.
Oh yeah.
Remember we looked at this?
Yeah, we did look at this.
Yeah, let's not go back down this road.
This was the beginning
So,
of
hang
the
on,
end.
he beat Eric Van Rooyen is basically what happened, and then lost to everybody else. Is that what
Yeah.
it says?
Yeah.
I just wanted to clear that up. Okay, moving along swiftly.
Okay, the ladies wasn't actually like I thought
Christine
Volmeron's
Volmeron's
looked
poor
alright.
to number. No, both ladies looked alright. Again, for me, like with all due respect, would have made a great headlining fight for an amateur event. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? I just don't think they've got a long way to go. Definitely a long way to go. But yeah, man. The thing is, like,
There's not much happening in the ladies.
that's
though.
what I'm saying. So female talent is so scarce.
Yeah.
There's a couple of girls in Durban that'll disagree with what we're saying. But
It's so
Durban
scarce.
has some talent, but it's definitely scarce. You know what I mean?
So I saw Bunmi this on Saturday when we all went to go grab some food in the interval, and I asked her like, why haven't you got that fight yet? She's like, well, it seems like people that need to agree to it won't agree to it. So
Interesting.
I mean, she's basically been sidelined for a year, not out of her doing, but
Even more.
yeah. Well, her last fight was what?
It was
May
Durban.
May last year.
Yeah, jeez.
So I mean, it's sad because I mean, she's obviously in the prime of her career, and now she's just not getting fights. So it's super.
Yeah,
it's
I
super
mean, I
bleak.
was in. No, Rock, don't do that. It's fine. I was in Durban shooting that thing with Dave Faster like ages ago, and I still did a quick fire interview with her, trying to like get a little bit of spice going to try and get her a fight. You know what I mean? And yeah, man. Since then, nothing. Not a word. Not a hint.
I'd love to hear Graham's side of the story. I'd like to hear what like he has to say about it. You know?
Yeah.
Because I mean, she's a talent. I mean, she she's like 2-1 now.
Mm.
She just went to
She
ADCC
also
European
operates
trials.
on people for a living
Yeah,
and somehow still fights professionally.
yeah. It's mental, bro.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anyway, moving swiftly along.
moving swiftly. Was that the
Okay, so
oh,
we
yeah,
had to-
Roy?
Did we have to drink yet at all?
I don't know.
Did you see the?
I think we can all give ourselves a pass on the Roberts wonderful thing because none of us got that right.
Robert asked me in person who's drinking for that. Just listen to that. This is like that. Have you seen that weird shit on YouTube where people make noises like?
Yo, that was good, eh?
Thanks, patron. I don't even know.
So Rook, you are drinking tonight, eh?
So just so,
I
just so everyone
just
knows,
don't understand why.
you were all here last week and heard us commit to bets that we'd be drinking. Rourke is now.
And Rook even made
Rourke is
I'll
cutting.
commit to bets that he wasn't super keen on committing to.
Yeah, he he's cutting weight for ADCC. He's got like 900 grams to go in 7 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's his excuse.
Never mind the fact that he drank some of my vodka energy drink whatever on the weekend.
Unbeknownst.
I like call one of the ladies over. I'm like, "Is this the alcohol one?" She's like, "Yeah." She gives it to me. It looked almost like perfectly clear. I took like a big swig of it. I was like, "Oh my goodness gracious, what the fuck went on here?"
Plutonium and vodka, boy.
Jeez, like it.
I don't think anyone's drinking so far though. Roberts wonderful, we all got wrong.
We all got drunk, so therefore we all drink.
I don't think we drink for a no
but that's
contest.
that's an
Okay,
that's
okay, well,
evenly got it
We'll
right.
squeak it out. We'll squeak it out.
There's no losers in that one.
We all got
went
Bradley.
Swanepoel.
Bradley's wonderful, we all got right. Christine Wilmans, we all got right.
Yeah. This,
I think we all got wrong. Or
Yeah.
did I go with Roy actually? I can't remember.
I think you did actually go with Roy.
I think I did go with Roy.
We should write these down next time.
Yeah.
Well, I thought you had done that, so that's awkward.
No, because you were high on Roy and
Yeah,
how-
because I
how
trained
big
with
he
Roy
is.
before.
Yeah. Look.
Oh,
Those
no,
oaks- those
no,
oaks
no,
are
no,
big.
I'm wrong. I think I went Kulakani. I think I still said left head kick.
Ah.
I did. I did.
So we all drink on
I
that one.
apologize, Roy. I apologize.
Those oaks are massive.
I
eh?
had some.
I wouldn't
Dude,
want to fight either of those.
I
guys.
had some dude. I'm not going to mention his name.
Everyone,
Look-
someone we know.
Well, yeah. Well, I'll tell you guys off here. Looked like he had had a few drinks.
Yeah, we don't want to be telling stories about other people getting
Yeah,
knocked out.
don't tell stories. Looked like he had
Hashtag say Warren.
hashtag free Warren King is what you meant to say. Looked like he
Oh.
had possibly had a few drinks. Came up to me and insisted that he took my number so I could be his manager. After I told him numerous amounts of times, I know fucking jack shit about me. Anybody's manager. All I do is talk shit, bro. I don't know what you want from me.
I don't understand why people need managers in South African MMA, right? There's no sort of like leeway on the bargaining on your purses, right? So what's the manager going to do? He's going to come in there and just take 15 to 25% for getting you the exact amount of money
Fuck,
you were
if you
going
had
to
told
get.
me that, I would have said yes.
You know, like guys like Martin and the guys that are earning like bigger
Yeah.
paychecks, I can understand a manager coming and negotiating these things, but I mean, a manager for people fighting on the undercard
Yeah, and if you're gonna
makes
get
zero sense.
if you're gonna get a manager, for sure, get an international manager that's gonna get you into a promotion outside of the EFC if that's
Yeah.
what you want to do.
Well, that's the other thing is, if
Like
you,
for sure, don't sign a manager that's never fucking spoken, heard of, doesn't even know who Mick Maynard is.
yeah.
For sure, don't make that dude your manager.
But if you go pro and you sign on to one of these fly-by-night management companies, you know, and then your contract's like 2 or 3 years, and you go on a bit of a tear, and then there's a little bit of interest internationally, and you're stuck in a contract with someone else, and they're going to take some of your money when those guys take you over, you know. So it's like when you go pro and your intention is to fight locally, like don't get a manager to start with, just go get what everyone's getting. I mean, you can go speak to a couple of fighters. It's not a secret what everyone's getting at the moment, and then just go and have your relationship with the EFC at the moment. The problem is when you're such a young amateur, such a young pro, is that sometimes these management companies get in between the way of you and the EFC, and your actual development stunted because they might not see eye to eye with the EFC because of other fighters, you know?
So that's from what we've heard from Graham's perspective, what's going on with Justin Smith. Graham keeps saying that his management and team are preventing him from getting a fight. They're misguiding him. That's obviously Graham's side. We don't know the whole story. There's always 3 sides to the story. But that seems to be the kind of thing. But my thing is that, like, and I get people want to stand and they want to stand for what's right and talk about bigger pay. They feel they're worth more and stuff like that. And I think the EFC's argument at the moment is like, look, this is the position we are in. We cannot bargain with you.
Yeah.
This is what we are offering. This is what we have. It's not about your worth at the moment. We're not trying to say you're worth less or worth more.
Yeah.
This is what we have.
Exactly.
This is what they're trying to say. And this is what Cairo made clear to me. He's like, it's not about, we're not trying to demoralize anybody. We're not trying to say you're not worth it.
Yeah.
We're saying to you, this is the situation.
Yeah.
And I mean, they've all come, okay, now it's all very open, and they've been very open about it. They've said we're in a financial weird place. We're getting back on our feet. They basically want your support is what they're asking for. So I think, I would suspect a guy like Justin Smith is, like, obviously saying, look, I'm worth more. 100% you are. 100% you are.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, this is the chips that we've all been dealt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like fans, fighters, the organization, and it's something we all have to figure out. At the same time, if Justin Smith's going to listen to what I'm going to say, listen, at the same time, nobody wins in this game fucking the promotion off.
Yeah.
Nobody wins.
100%.
You've seen it. You've just seen one of the biggest cases in history with Cyborg and Dana. Tyrone Woodley. The list goes on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't work out for you. That's just the way it goes. Like, I mean, they're like, cool, because there's this dude who's going to fight anyway. So
Yeah.
what are you saying? You know what I mean?
No, I agree with you completely. And like you said, there is no room for bargaining. There's no money to.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone in every job ever feels like they don't get paid enough,
Sure.
right? It's just the inherent nature of human beings. So the EFC have come and said everyone on the undercard's getting X and X,
Yeah.
and you're getting so many free tickets, and that's it. You can take it or leave it. And you know, I was fortunate enough that when I did fight, that I had a direct relationship with the EFC, even prior to me being there. So when I went and fought for the EFC, I always seemed like I got favorable purses and whatever.
Yeah.
But it was just because it was an easy process with me. You know, it was just like, get there, sign the contract, and you go along. Whereas I hear other guys getting shasted, and then you have to like think. You sit back and you think, and you're like, oh, but they're actually quite difficult people, you know.
Yeah.
And in our environment, it doesn't make sense. In America, it makes sense because, you know, there's so many organizations you can go to. We in Africa, we got one organization to deal with, and that organization doesn't have the money to barter with. And if you
At the
don't like
moment.
it, you shouldn't have signed that contract.
So it's such a fine line between accepting and facing that, and like also just giving up and saying, well, that's the situation, the EFC can't pay me, whatever. The bigger side of this is that all fighters, especially younger fighters, need to learn and understand how to create a brand,
Yeah.
how to find and approach sponsors. There's models out there. If you want to see how to do it, look at guys like Soldier Boy, look at guys like Martin van Staden, JP Base, Don. Like there's quite a few really good examples.
Even Faiz is getting,
even
you know.
even Faiz is
Yeah.
great. He's great. A lot of guys, but even Faiz, for the star he is, and the star power he has, especially in Cape Town, could be doing more.
Yeah.
Look at a guy, and I sat down with Dino long ago, and I don't think he had actually realized it at the time. The whole thing where the mayor of Edenvale came on is Dino actually turned Edenvale into a brand without
Yeah.
even realizing it. You know what I mean? So all of a sudden, I buy my wife a Hyundai. We move to Edenvale. I'm like, oh fuck, there's definitely a Hyundai close by because I know Dino. They sponsored Dino Bagatine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Hyundai,
and I
Red
drive
Door Cafe.
exactly. I drive past Red Door Cafe. I'm like, hey, fuck, that's Dino's sponsor.
Yeah.
Let's check it out. You know what I mean? It's not like he's not forcing me to go. It's just
Yeah.
that association keeps coming.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's brilliant. And to be honest, I don't even know if he had realized that he had done it, but that's what he had done.
Yeah.
Carl Eleanor, same thing. He like mobilized his area because it's like a small town and everyone's supporting him. Those are the ways to go about it, especially when you say, oh, but you know, fucking some dude on the JSC won't give me a sponsor. He's not going to give you the fucking sponsor, dude.
Yeah.
Go to the people that are close by, friends of the gym, speak to people, like put your brand out there. You cannot hop onto Facebook 2 weeks out from a fight and post a fight post and say looking for sponsors.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't fucking work like that. Where EFC is lacking is finances. Where they're not lacking is fucking production.
Yeah.
You're going from your couch here downstairs all the way to the fucking tip of Africa to Europe and beyond. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Regardless of whatever else is happening, the numbers are out there. You should be using that to show I'm on SuperSport, prime time on SuperSport
Yeah.
once a month. You know what I'm saying?
Prime time on SABC.
Exactly.
But just to go back one step, like we're not saying, like all the guys that have some sort of value already. So even new signees, so like the Cheyenne Flismus situation, right? Or Cheyenne based now, is like she would definitely, like for her it makes sense to have a manager. You know, she came from Invicta. She might not have a big record yet, but like for people like her and all the like upper tier guys, like the guys that you expect to always be on the main card, those guys definitely need managers, right? Because there is bargaining power there, because they have brands that support them. What I'm saying though is that if you're a new fighter coming into the EFC, you don't have much of a following.
Yeah.
You don't need a manager to start with. All they're going to do is take your money.
Yeah.
The little bit of money you're going to get, they're going to take a portion of it. So if I give any advice, is like skip on the management at first, sign your 2 to 4 year deal, and then after that get yourself some, like get a win streak going, and start building your brand, and then get a manager on board, promoter maybe.
You say, as you were saying that, I just thought of Rayo Sanchez, and why Rayo Sanchez was like, for me, just seemed like he arrived on the scene with such a big impact. And it was basically because, okay, you saw him sign, turn pro and get his debut fight. So you naturally go and check this kid out. Then he's always on your timeline. He's always doing something. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm talking about. He's got cool little like logos going. He's got all sorts of things happening, and that makes me remember him, and that makes me tune in to watch him. You know what I mean?
100%.
You know, and like a guy like Rayo Sanchez, who's a youngster who's coming, who's doing it really right. And slowly, okay, maybe he's not getting the biggest and the best sponsors now, but slowly as he progresses, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
100%.
And that's the right way you got to go about it. And for what the EFC lacks in being able to pay you, they're definitely giving you that opportunity to go out there and get those sponsors.
Yeah.
And it used to irritate me when they said that, but now it makes more sense to me, because the opportunity is definitely there, and they're encouraging it. They're trying to look at how that they're doing with all their sponsors. So based on their model, go out and find your sponsors.
Yeah,
and hashtag that is also the longest procrastination for a drink I have ever seen.
Oy.
So what are we drinking for? Oh, Roy. Shout out to Roy.
But let's just elaborate that because Rourke isn't drinking tonight, he's drinking double after ADCC.
That's the deal.
You know, and he's ketogenic, so he's drinking double vodkas.
Oy.
I'll make sure it's in a skull.
Roy.
Sorry, Roy, we do apologize for underestimating your skills. It's not too bad
What was the
for a Monday.
For a Monday night.
What's that?
That fight was pretty good.
Roy versus Hlongwa. It was good, but I think we both said the same things watching the fight. I didn't see enough kicks from Kulekani. That left kick of his is devastating. And there was a southpaw orthodox stance, wasn't there?
Yeah, I can't remember.
But definitely,
I definitely got stuck into those vodka, those vodka energy drink things. That as I came, I was like, another one.
yeah, that's how it starts.
And then you have altercations at the.
Gone with them all. But yeah, I think Kulekane didn't have the best showing of himself, and I think every fighter's allowed one of those in their career where you don't really show up. You know what I mean? It happens. It felt to me, I don't know. I don't think the fight was too big a deal for him. I think it was just a matter of.
Just remind me how the fight went.
It was just a bit underwhelming. It went to decision.
Was it like weird grappling in there as well?
A bit of cage work.
Yeah, there was. Kulkani had the decent stand up, and then he tried to take Roy down.
Yeah, that was towards the end of the fight, though.
Yes.
He actually has a really good top game.
I kept because Roy kept taking Kulakani down, right?
Yeah.
And in the last round, Kulakani was doing well in the striking, and then
Took a shot for the takedown.
he shot for the and then I said to Will, like, what happened? Like, why did he shoot for the takedown?
Yeah.
And he said, no, his top pressure is actually really, really good, and the game plan was to be on top.
Because I think that was the first time maybe he'd been on his back. That's what I remember thinking. I was like, because we were still laughing because we said the 2 rounds he couldn't get one sweep, and now he's shooting for a takedown. You know what I mean? Or what you were asking him for an inside trip off the single leg. Yeah, that's what was happening. It was that fight.
Was it that?
Yeah,
He was
that fun?
calling an inside triple for single
And
leg
we're
for
like,
like
dude,
how
the
many
dude
times?
couldn't get a sweep for 10 minutes. Now he wanted to pull off an inside trip from the single leg. Like, how does that?
Oh
I'm
man.
pretty sure he doesn't know how to do that.
Yeah,
But anyway,
I just wish Kulakani like let go. Like he seemed very
Yeah.
tentative.
Yo,
Yeah.
when he threw those kicks, they looked vicious.
No, you
dude.
definitely don't want to be kicked by that oak.
And that's
or,
what I'm
or
saying.
his
like,
brother.
Like, but the kicks he was throwing as well, like he didn't set them up really. You know what I mean? He just kind of threw the kick wild.
Yeah.
But he could have stuck. I would have liked to have seen Kulakani throw a few early leg kicks, especially like inside leg kicks, just to let Roy know, close that distance, especially after he got taken down. The next round, my message would have been, listen, bro, let's land 1 or 2 kicks, make him hesitate coming in, maybe start like feinting the knee a little bit. There's a lot more he could have done, you know what I mean? But it wasn't a bad fight actually. I was quite impressed by Roy. He's a unit, bro.
But you know,
He's
like
an absolute unit.
like naturally, if you're getting taken down, like the kicking game goes away because
yeah,
obviously
sure.
that makes you susceptible to the blast double and so forth. So I
Yeah,
suppose
but
that was
also,
probably
dude,
like
not with a guy like Roy who's not Jordan Burroughs, bro. You know what I mean?
look. I don't want to fight either of those guys.
No, never, never. I'm okay, thanks.
Okay, moving
But
along.
Joe, it was a good fight though, not bad.
Kenna
Yeah.
versus Olsen.
Went exactly the way we thought,
Yeah, Roderick
Exactly
hits
the way
way
we
too
thought.
hard, bro.
bro. And dude, Elvis is not a lightweight. He definitely wasn't a middleweight.
Well, that was the crazy thing is that when he stood next to Roderick, he looked small,
Yeah, he was tiny.
and you think this guy fought at middleweight against the Klongwa brother,
No. He fought Mark Cumber.
Mark. It's even worse,
Yeah,
bro.
exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Like
and bro, I called it. I actually had words with
He's a
him
featherweight.
and his team, and I was like, "This is suicide. This is suicide. What you guys are doing to this kid."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, it's the opportunity." I'm like, "Bro, there'll be other opportunities.
No,
To send him
definitely
in at middleweight is fucking suicide." The first punch he took against Mark Cumber, he went fetal on the floor, bro. You know what I mean? Like he went fetal. He literally, and he did the same in this fight. He went fetal and just covered up. I'm like, dude, that's not fighting, bro. That's getting fucking beaten.
He definitely needs to go down to featherweight, bro.
Or
Definitely.
dude, or for sure, whoever's fucking telling him to say yes to these fights needs to be like, listen, let's maybe leave Roderick over there, because Roderick's been around a long time, bro.
Yeah.
And he's a unit and he hits fucking hard. He might not be the most technical striker out there. His striking is not as bad as people think, and I don't think he's because he's lost to like the likes of Luke Michael and stuff. You look past him, but he's not. He's
Yeah.
actually he's pretty
I think
decent.
he's very
you know what I
decent,
mean?
bro.
And he hits like a truck, bro. I've seen that oak. I remember watching him. I think it might have been the Luke Michael fight. They were a prelim fight at the time. It was when they were still doing media day and stuff at the Santon gym, the EFC gym.
Oh yeah.
And he started having a workout or something. And I just remember thinking, I was like, Jesus, I don't want to get hit by that, dude. I do not want to get hit by that because it's literally going to detach my face.
But he's never really had like a proper camp behind him. You know,
Roderick.
he's always
Yeah.
been very responsible for his own training. So it was interesting to see that he's obviously partnered up with Vic and a whole bunch of other
Yeah.
guys
Yeah.
to get him on track. He looked good. I thought he looked really good.
There was a
Um,
dude in his corner. Someone was trying to tell me. I think Guy was trying to tell me. I think his name's Need or something like that.
Neat.
Neat. Yeah.
He was used to my Muay Thai coach. That
Yeah,
oak
yeah,
is a
Muay Thai dude,
savage.
yeah.
That oak's a savage.
Yeah.
Neat. I used to watch him just beat the rubbish out of guys. Like not in a malicious way. Just
Yeah.
he's just like and he used to like when you spar Neat, he's a big Nigerian
Yeah.
fella, right? He used to like roar at you like when he came in for a combination. You'd literally shit yourself like as he came in. But no, Neat's an awesome guy. Rourke actually fixed his car at one of my fights before.
Oh yeah, I remember that story. Yeah.
Yeah, Neat's awesome. I thought Neat was out of the game. No.
I'm pretty sure.
Interesting to see
Yeah,
him
I
back.
think Guy said that. He was like, "Oh, that's neat." I was like,
If Neat's body like held together, he would have been a decent fighter. Like he wanted to transition to MMA, but his knees were gone and
"Well, yeah, man.
scary guy.
Fucking shout out to Roderick Kenner, dude,
Yeah,
doing the damn thing out there.
yeah.
I like to see Roderick get a slightly stiffer test, and let's see from there.
Who
Roderick.
did Roderick lose to?
Luke Michael was his last loss, I think.
But
No. He
was-
had
he's-
fights after that. I'm
He's
lying.
4-3 at the moment, eh?
Yeah, he's definitely had more fights since then. I'm lying. He had a pretty big fight recently. So Saxon Delafield.
Yeah.
That's an unfortunate fight.
So his losses are Saxon, Luke, and Chilombo Mikishi. So all three of those guys
Yeah.
are top level guys.
Well, yeah. Well, if we can figure out where Makishi is,
But I mean, he's 3-0. Shalomba's 3-0.
yeah,
Luke's fighting for the title, and Saxon's next in line at lightweight. You know.
yeah.
And then he's beaten someone that's got a couple of wins in Serge Cassandra. And then
Yeah.
obviously Dwayne Jones and Sifiso and Cole.
Look, bro. Let's breeze over his record. I think he looked pretty good.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think he looked really good.
100%.
But yeah, dude, Elvis, we're trying to get him on
And
the
he kept
show.
us on track. No more Patron.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, dude, let's for sure get that kid a reasonable fight.
The next up was Ashiashu, aka Anderson Chiga.
Dude,
How crazy was that?
I
knockout?
have never seen a crowd react like that in my life.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
50% of the crowd was.
Okay, I have. When Brendan knocked out Soldier Boy.
Yeah, okay, the only other time I've seen a crowd go so wild was when BB Gun got folded by Eleni Lunga.
Yeah.
Dude, let me tell you, half the crowd was standing up holding their mouths, and the other half was like hiding their face because they didn't want to see it anymore. You know what I mean? Like it was,
Yeah.
you know, you are knocked out when you do the Michael Jackson, bro, midair. When you start
Well,
doing
he was
Thriller,
knocked
bro.
out standing up, and then he caught another.
Dude,
Caught one for the
Honestly, like,
the road.
I have never seen a more convincing title request in my life than that knockout.
Yeah. Well, now isn't he
That
on a
was
4-5 win
ins-
streak now?
He's 5-0 now, maybe 4-0.
No, I think he was 3-1 going into this.
No, his only loss is to Fafa.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was a bit of a.
Have you set that fight up? Isn't Fafa on a 4-5
Loss.
streak?
No, he's on a
No,
loss.
he beat.
Yeah, the DQ.
Oh, he
Sylvester
did.
Chipfumbu.
He did. Look, I think that.
Look, he didn't really beat Sylvester.
I
let's
think
be
Fafa's
honest.
still recovering from that
Yeah,
head
yeah.
kick, bro.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah, no,
think,
that was
I don't
good,
think we
eh?
can say he beat Sylvester Chipfumbu.
That
I
was
think that's a bit unfair.
that was a great.
Has he
performance.
got a honey patch in his background photo?
Yeah, it was the LFS photos.
They were using 3310s at LFS. What was happening? The fuck's going on there?
Yeah, 4-5 win streak.
Oh, Kayambala, your buddy.
Yeah.
Is that, where was that? Last fighter standing. Oh, yeah, LFS. Okay, I remember that.
Serge Cassandra, isn't that guy like a bantamweight?
Oh, it depends on the day.
Yeah. Yeah, that was very
Dude,
impressive.
Asiashu's the real deal, bro.
So just explain what happened to everyone who didn't see it.
What, the knockout?
Yeah.
We can pull it up. We'll try to find it.
So he like
Um,
comes in, he throws the jab, and then
go-
he like almost feints the jab and then throws the front kick and lands it square on the jaw.
Bro, go to Sirun Corsi's page. He posted a Facebook link, which is the best video I've seen of it. I think it was there. Dude, that was... and this is the funniest thing, bro. Like, I'm not saying I'm the fucking MMA oracle, but often, especially in local MMA, and I have a theory behind it, I always see the opportunity for that front kick like that. Check that picture, dude. I think the way, especially watch Billy Oosthuizen's hands. Look how wide his hands. My theory is these guys train with dudes that are holding pads like absolute maniacs, bro. You know what I mean? Look at his hands. Look how wide his hands are. And never mind that they're at his hips a lot of the time. Can you see what I'm saying? His hands are like this, bro. Oh, dude.
Oh my goodness.
Boom.
Oh.
Execution, my man. Jeepers. That was... Dick Graham, he's like, oh my god.
I'm so surprised.
Listen, I was panicking. I thought Billy's jaw was completely
I
detached. There.
I thought that he was gonna have a broken jaw.
Yeah, bare minimum, I thought he was going to have a broken jaw. Dude, that was honestly... And like it was like lulled and it just came out of nowhere. Bang.
Yeah.
It was
because Billy
intense.
stared you down.
Yeah. Yeah, Billy, for sure don't stare us down next time, bro. Jeez.
Wow.
16 rated violence and language.
Who
Bro.
posted that? What was the guy's name? Fricky.
Yeah, let's shout out to this dude. Who's this guy?
Camp
yeah,
Surf
Fricky.
with Fricky.
Cam Surf with Fricky. What a legend. I think that's a screen recording from Supersport, Fricky. Dude, look at that.
Oh,
and
he
no,
was-
and no
he was
broken toe, eh?
He was fortunate that it hit him on the base of the chin, huh? Because it hit him
Yeah.
up. Whereas a lot of those ones,
Vickers was like pleading with him to stop on the way in. Did you see that?
He's excited for his fight to start now.
Look, I think Billy took it like a champ when he woke up, bro. He was like, okay, hectic. He probably looked up at the screen and saw it for the first time. I was like, Jesus, what the hell?
I was surprised to see him at the post-fight press conference.
So was I, and talking.
Yeah.
It didn't look like he knew what was going on though, but I don't know. And was it Keegan who asked him about when can we expect him to return? No, but Keegan was trying to trying to say to him, like, for sure take the rest of the year off. Is what he was trying to say. You know what I mean? Like, for sure don't let anybody tell you that you'll be fine to fight in December because they're fucking lying. Like, legitimately take 6 months off.
Yeah.
Like, please. You know?
No, you have to. I mean,
you know,
after
do you
something
actually remember? And fucking, they signed Baron Nienaber for the very next event, or the one just after. It had been like 6 weeks since Eleni Lunga almost took his neck off. And then he was signed for a fight. And I still commented, I was like, at Baron Nienaber, are you fucking nuts? Like, dude, you shouldn't even be taking contact for the next 6 months. How the fuck are you getting back in there? And he was like, oh, I've been assessed. I'm like, I couldn't give a fuck about how you've been assessed. That is mental. Like, it would never happen anywhere else, for sure. And then all of a sudden he fell off that fight card. Like, I don't want to tell us to not stop fighting, but bro, like, if I see something like that, I have to say something.
Yeah.
That's the reality. But you can't get. I mean, Dimitri Fogg was another example. I was like, how does this dude get sparked at what was it, at Fight Star
against
Elisa? As an amateur, 30 days later turns pro by some convincing at Brave, and he's also just been knocked the fuck out, bro. Like, it's insane. Like, you know, like, we fighters, we take opportunities. I'm like, bro, that's fine. But, that's fine. But there's a limit to that. You can't get knocked out and fight 30 days fucking later.
No, 100%. I can also understand it from Dimitri's side. You know, he had this golden opportunity that was handed to him. The problem is that the people that were meant to be looking after him weren't looking after him.
No, for sure.
You know, like, some fighters you have to save them from themselves, you know? And unfortunately, the people that were around Dimitri at that time weren't saving him from himself.
This is going to start another Facebook war. But listen, that's the reality, bro. That dude, that was another perfect example, should not be in there. And the reality is these things happen. And I think that was what Keegan was trying to get his point across, was like, for sure take the rest of the year off. Like, I don't think guys also, like, okay, cool, I got knocked out. But I don't think you realize what sort of damage something like that does to you. And you know, I was just explaining the theory to someone I was training with today. That Stipe, for example, maybe we'll chat about that fight card coming up. Stipe, for me, was still wearing the beating from Francis Ngannou when he fought DC. Try and figure out how long that gap was. Like, check the fight records from Ngannou to DC.
Wait, it's taking a long break now, eh?
Dude, look, it worked out in his favor, I reckon.
Yeah.
Because I think it's like a year off. I think it probably did him the world of good. His daughter was born, like, you know, he got to do the dad thing. Bro, because fuck me. And he's the only dude to survive it. And, bro, realistically, he got hit with some hammers. You know what I mean? So, like, that's also, like, I don't think guys realize, especially taking a huge knockout like that, what it does to you. And like Billy Urstez is a young guy. He's got a whole career ahead of him. Like, for sure, just take some time out. Go back to training, enjoy your training, and then chill out. Okay, so you went from Ngannou? Does it say a date there?
It was like 6 months.
6 months, dude.
Yeah.
6 months and you're fighting again. Level. So you fight Ngannou, take a bit of time off.
How fast was the
training, get back to camp?
Fight?
Oh, 2 minutes. How's that, eh? At heavyweight.
Bro, how's
54
that
seconds. 2 minutes, 47 seconds.
Dude, how's that tear though, bro? Mark Hunt, Orlovsky, Verdum in Brazil, Overeem, Dos Santos, and Ngannou, bro.
And then you finally get stopped by Cormier.
Dude, talk about a tear. Anyway.
But even before that, I mean, he lost to Dos Santos, but he also beat Maldonado.
Yeah.
Gonzaga, Roy Nelson. Roy Nelson. Stefan Struve.
He lost to Stefan Struve. Dude, look at those wins. Jeepers, bro.
Yeah, no, it's mental.
Talk about a body of work, bro.
Yes. But just coming back to the Dimitri Fogg story, right? I think Dimitri, you know, obviously he lost to Eliza, which almost everyone on this planet is going to lose to that guy, right? Right. So there's nothing to be ashamed of in there. I think the concerning factor was that he had just been knocked out so recent, and then was on that loss, and then turned pro, and then went and fought at an international promotion, with the promise of having 3 fights a year.
Yeah, and how's that worked out?
So, yeah.
Look, I get it,
just-
bro. I
I
get it.
I feel sorry for Dimitri. I
No, I
think
do as well, bro. 100%. Because I understand the opportunity. I get it. But you've also got to be a realist as well. You know what I mean?
who's Christian Duncan?
Well,
Oh, that was
fought 3 times in 3 months.
Who's that?
that was Imaf.
This is Dimitri.
Yeah.
Elysia and Christian.
Where's the Elysia fight? Because he beat Simon Domingos?
But remember, that was 5 stars, and he went to Worlds
Okay.
directly after that.
Okay. So after getting a head kick KO, he still went to Worlds.
Yeah,
What was the time frame?
it was very short.
Like the next day?
It was less than a month away. He fought again.
But that was also not. He had also signed to do that last fighter standing. That's why he had to fight Elysia before Worlds.
No,
So
no,
he
but
had pre-qualified for Worlds.
Hang on, bro.
But what I'm saying
Who
is that
said who said that he has to fight a murderer before going to Worlds?
Well, he signed up. That searching for a scrap. Like he was a part of the show, from what I remember.
no, 100%.
Bro,
But I'm
listen.
saying,
Rourke, if I'm running searching for a scrap, okay, and one of my guys is going to fight in an international competition, I don't give a fuck. I'm for sure going to pull him out of that show. Dude, the 5 followers on YouTube are not going to be upset that you pulled him out of the show.
No, I agree.
But-
That's what I think. That's what Warren was saying, is that unfortunately Dimitri didn't have someone to pull him for that, and he saw it as a big opportunity.
I think Master should have identified that Dimitri was KO'd less than a month before Worlds.
Yeah, or anybody else.
And that they should have stopped him from competing at Worlds. I know, I do understand that there's a whole bunch of money spent in for him to go over to Worlds, but once again, safety should be at the center of this, you know.
Or let's not give him an absolute murderer 3 weeks before he has to leave. That's like, bro, that's like saying, okay, listen, that's like saying that, like, the night before the fucking World Cup final, let's all go fucking bungee jumping, but without the cord, we're going to hold each other. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No,
bro?
no,
it's just asking for shit, dude.
I understand what was going on though, right? So searching for a scrap had a bracket. The bracket was being worked out. You could enter searching for a scrap. It didn't mean that you were going to go to Worlds or whatever. You know, some of the guys on that searching for a scrap weren't going to Worlds. I think they were banking on Dimitri grappling and submitting Elysia and then going to Worlds and doing his thing, right?
Fuck, were they wrong?
But the unfortunate reality is he got knocked out. So Master should have stepped in and said, no, you were concussed less than 3 weeks ago, and you're gonna have to withdraw from the team. You can't compete with being knocked out literally in October.
Or go with the team. Like, we understand the opportunity. Go with the team and fucking help them out, bro.
No, that's what I'm saying. But they should have held him back. You know.
Yeah, dude. I don't know.
Even if a doctor comes
I promise you, people are going to say we're fucking crazy and we're idiots and that we don't understand. That's fine. But what I do understand is that you've only got one brain, bro, and you can't fucking do shit like that.
Just go back to his record quickly.
But listen, so
he gets KO'd in October, choked out 3 weeks later at Worlds, and then just scroll up, and then gets KO'd the following month at Brave. I mean, the unfortunate reality is that your brain can only take so much damage, you know. And if you're gonna go through 2 KOs in the space of 3 months, you know, it's really gonna shorten your career. But the problem is that the people around Dimitri should have been saving him, you know.
Yeah. This is, bro, just for while we're on this topic, just go to Brave and pull up that fight card. The next coming fight card.
The upcoming one or this one that was in
The
South Africa?
The Brazilian one.
Oh, within Corsi.
Yeah. Like in Corsi, cool. I'm super happy for the kid. He's probably getting paid well.
Yeah, I heard some of the purses.
First fight since
Fantastic, bro.
since Brave were here. So only his second fight at Brave, and he won his first, if I'm right, eh?
I'm speculating, but from what I've heard, he's getting like 7,000 US, which is a fantastic payday to pitch up.
Especially when you're being sent to Brazil to fight a Brazilian in your second pro fight. On a card that's stacked full of Brazilians.
I hope he does it. I hope he pulls it off.
Hope so too. Cause
Look,
geez,
I mean,
bro.
they haven't given him a murderer though. This guy's 6-3.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a killer at all, bro. Looks like he's only been on about 25,000 Mexican supplements, but he doesn't look like a murderer as well, at all. Listen, bro,
let's see
put
what he's done. Let's see what he's done.
put two knives in that dude's hands, bro, and you will fucking.
Gordo fight him. Did it say Gordo fight him up there? Oh, Gordon fight him. Gordo is one of the big Rio de Janeiro Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
I don't know where
Jumps.
the suck's fighting. Jungle, must be jungle.
Yeah, jungle fight.
Look, bro. Killers come out of that place, bro. Make no mistake. What is he gone?
Yeah, unfortunately,
He's 6-3.
6-3. Yeah, he doesn't look like a killer at all.
I hope.
If you consider 10 murders not killer. Jeez, bro. Yeah.
But
listen,
I mean, they could have been like,
dude,
yeah, you go.
what weight is this fight at?
10 and
Because
0
that dude looks like he's a
feather. That arc must be short though, hey?
dude. He must be 4'1".
4'9".
Really?
He's not much shorter than me.
John Lineker, bro.
Yes.
4'9".
5'9".
So I was like, 4'9", bro. What is he, a gardener? He's 4'9". 5'9",
My
bro.
wife's taller
And
than 4 foot.
that dude's fighting featherweight.
Yeah.
There's no ways. What is he gonna cut, bro? His arms off. How's he gonna get to featherweight? Look at the size of this fella, bro. No, bro. We gotta go to this oak's Facebook or something.
Please find
There's no
please
ways.
find a fight of him. Please find one of his videos.
Dude, there is no way that dude's fighting at featherweight. That's impossible. That's impossible.
Click on the video link.
Look how shredded the soak is, dude. Char Gregorio. Shout out to this dude. Hi. Oh,
Neil Milan.
YouTube.
Do you get that? Neil
Yeah,
Milan?
so
Skip. Hi, I'm Neil Milan, and I'm coming to you from Koh Phi Phi Island in beautiful wherever. It's fuck.
PP's in Thailand, boy.
No, I know. His video is actually from Krabi.
Dude, listen.
Which one's the guy?
Jungle fight for sure.
This is Zhao.
That's
And where's Chow? Chow versus Zhao. Should be interesting.
I thought it was Caio. If he's Italian, it's Ciao.
Yeah. If he's not Italian, I'm guessing. Because he has a Brazilian flag next to his name.
He looks big, huh?
Yes.
That's
Dude,
literally
dude, is that Yoel Romero? Are you sure we're on the right video?
his topology photos from this fight.
Of course, Indebele is literally fighting Yoel Romero,
I've
bro.
seen this video, but I'm guessing Zhao doesn't have a good.
They don't even put Zhao's name in legible font.
Yeah, he's already been wiped out, bro. Oh, my soul, dude.
Zhao looks useless though.
Can you imagine the conversation? Hi, Mr. Hey? Yeah. Whoever's in charge of enforcing the bill, like, cool, we've got a fight for you. Yes, Brazilian? Yes, in Brazil. Here's his video link.
Look at
Okay, cool.
oh,
little
capoeira.
capoeira. Oh, Superman. Was that a Superman to the pick?
Yeah.
Well, look, you can't miss the
I
picks,
think-
bro.
I
It's
think
like
co-
two heavy heavy bags running around on that oak's chest, dude. Yeah. First punch, and Zhao is like, cool, I'm out of here. Shoot them.
I think Nkosi's a far better striker than this guy. But there's definitely going to be a size difference there.
Listen, there's also going to be a vast juice difference there
Yeah.
as well.
If you also consider that Nkosi's fought at bantamweight.
I also don't think there's a very strong USADA presence at Jungle Fight.
Oh no! You know, well, when one of our fighters was going over there, they weren't even aware of a sanctioning against them. So I mean, you get that. I mean, it's not top of mind for this organization to be.
No. Hey, bro.
Okay.
Danilo team. Chocolate. Okay, let's move on. Go
Yeah,
back to the
off.
fight. What was the last fight? Oh, yeah. We were talking about.
We're about to get onto drinking again.
Shout out to Asiyashu.
Yeah, no,
Chitamba.
that was
Yeah,
fantastic.
dude's a real deal, eh?
Yeah.
I like it. I like that fight between him and Faiz.
So now, my big question is, right? Faiz is the interim champion, but Kyra made it very clear that JP's not coming back anytime soon.
Well, I
Why
don't
was it
no,
for
no,
an
no,
interim
no,
title?
no. So I picked up on a couple of things. The poster said interim champion. They didn't call him interim champion on Fight Night, if I remember correctly. Kyron never said JP's coming back. He said he's going overseas and he's going to pursue other avenues. Look, I don't think, obviously, the EFC are not going to pay for him to come back to a fight if that works out. I think they're just trying to, they're giving him the opportunity to, I don't know what's going on.
I'd love to see JP fight. But he's going to be a good fight.
Yeah. But I mean,
Is it going to be a good fight? I think JP wraps it up.
Yeah.
Quick sticks.
but it seems like there's no.
Sorry, but just to reiterate that point, I just think JP's on a completely different level. There's levels to this game, and I think JP is just on a different one to Faiz, with all due respect.
But just to go back one step, right? JP was in Zulu's corner
Yeah.
with every intention of Zulu winning. So
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like there's any intention of him
Fair
coming
enough,
back
fair
to
enough.
defend anytime soon.
So, what do? Does he just become the champ?
I think it makes sense that he becomes the champ.
I don't think anyone is even considering him the interim champ. I think we've just accepted that he's the bantamweight champion.
Yeah, because I mean, and you're right, JP is on a different level. It's but I think
So,
I
listen,
think he's
bro,
moved
like,
along now.
There's mutterings of Urshad coming back. Can he fight for the title? Can they then fight for a vacant
guys,
bantamweight
He
title?
for sure deserves an instant matchup for the title.
Yeah, he definitely. After all he's been through, yeah. Look, you won't get a complaint out of me.
Yeah.
You're gonna give him straight title shot. Thumbs up from me. The only reason why I'd be hesitant is because Asi Ashu is there. He's fighting. He's earned his stripes. Like I mean, I know and South Africans will say, "Oh, he's only 3-1." I get it, but in the
4-1.
landscape, 4-1. In the landscape, he's there. You know what I mean?
Well, his record is technically as strong as Faiz's.
For sure.
Well, why didn't we do an Ashu Chitamba versus Ishod Saeed for another one?
No, I think you do
Yeah.
Ashu first, and then winner gets a shot.
Yeah, look, we don't know for sure if Urshad's coming back. It's just a muttering. It seems like
He
there's a bit of
seems
talk.
keen.
So who called Billy Oosthuizen? Rourke. So that's
I didn't call him.
2 for you.
I didn't call Billy Oosthuizen.
He's got 2 already because he has the 1 turns into 2 for him.
Never.
so no one. I think we all
We all
went
caught
Asi Ashu, yeah.
Ashu.
Lyle Karam versus Stephen Pretorius.
Dude, this is. I actually went specifically to comment on Stephen Pretorius's Instagram today. Dude,
That was a
unsung.
good showing.
Dude, unsung MVP of the night, bro. Shame, bro. And I was like, next question. I'm like, cool guys. Press conference. Next question for Stefan. As I said, last one for Kara. I'm just like, fuck. Poor dude. Just sitting there. But yeah, dude, like honestly, I think he in a fight with a guy like Lyle Karam, like most guys are getting counted out, especially late notice,
Yeah.
which was a funny thing for me. And he like seriously stuck. I think he actually won more fans.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Well, Graham-
he won a fan in me, dude. I was like, I liked the way he went about himself. I liked physically he looked fucking in good nick for a last minute fight, which means he's working hard, he's staying ready. I liked his fight IQ. I liked the way he went about his business, bro. I was seriously impressed.
Yeah.
Super impressed.
I think lineups and good fights and he'll be at the top of the welterweight division.
Yeah,
What was his last fight? He beat.
let's pull it up.
He beat
He had a
some.
good win
Yeah, he had
recently.
a main card victory prior to this, didn't he?
Yeah, he was on the main card for sure.
Yeah, but I think he won. It was
Well, I can't remember. We're gonna find out now. As soon as they're up, yeah, left. Oh no.
Oh no, that's not
they
showing
never
you.
updated that, so you're gonna have to search that. Yeah, but dude, listen, both guys, even Lyle. I mean, Lyle was very visually. You could see he was gassing, bro. He was tired,
Well, I mean,
but he pulled it in, bro.
I don't think he's used to fighting with this altitude deficit. You know, I mean, he used to live in Johannesburg, Pretoria region. I'm not sure exactly where, but
Oh,
Ah.
Kulikani Klongwa.
yeah. So that was on the main card though.
Lost to Trezor on his first outing. No. Oh, Bruno. Oh man, jeez, he went on a bit of a tear there. Wade Sage. I remember that. Wade also, wasn't that the fight Wade signed like with 2 hours notice?
Didn't Wade fight Conrad on 2 hours
No,
notice?
he fought him from weight.
Oh yeah. See,
So I mean, Lal used to live in the Gauteng region, which is fairly high altitude, and now he lives in Melbourne, which is at sea level. Plus, he had a 12-hour flight
dude,
to
sorry.
get here.
Yeah. They see that cancelled bout between him and Conrad Siabi, Stefan Pretorius. Go
Ah.
back there. For sure. Put that fight on.
Yeah, that's a nice fight. But is that going to? I mean, Conrad's up to middleweight now, isn't he? Wasn't that the talks?
No.
Is he staying at welterweight?
Seems like it. When Graham put out that thing between the 4 fights to make it welterweight, Conrad was in the mix there. Justin Smith, Pupanga,
Justin Smith,
Conrad,
Lyle Karam, that was a
and
nice.
Lyle Karam, Sean DeLange.
That was a tasty little lead.
Welterweight's pretty stacked, bro. It's
Yeah.
definitely pretty stacked. Still got Dino in the mix.
I wish
there.
Justin was in the Grand Prix though.
He should be. I think that Grand Prix is just cursed, bro. Let's just move on. Let's get this fight done with, and let's figure it out from there. Let's set up another Grand Prix
Yeah.
for the next contender.
Agreed. But do we have to do Grand Prix though? Can we not just make Lyle and
Or just put all of those dudes on the same fight card. And
Yeah.
Don't call it a Grand Prix.
just make Lyle and Justin fight? Winner gets the next shot.
Can you do that without putting Sean DeLange in the mix? Because he's got every right to shot. Well, I suppose
Sean's only
not
1-0
really.
at
Yeah, I
welterweight, and Justin's 3-0 at welterweight.
Yeah. And Lyle Karam's 5-0.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I
Okay.
think Sean Dino makes a better statement.
Please. If Dino's not retiring, look, I think getting to that time, Dino. But
I think he's still got 1 or 2 in them.
I don't know. Anyway, I'd like to see Dino versus Sean DeLange. I'm not going to say no to that.
Third round Dino was fantastic.
Dude. Camera live, eh?
I thought
So we all went with Karam. 'Cause that's the
Yeah,
next
yeah, we
fight.
did.
Okay, cool.
saved us again.
This
So
wasn't... was
you-
this fight of the night? What was fight of the night?
Yeah, this was fun enough.
Yeah, this was. Dude, fuck, what a fight, eh?
So, my opinion, right? I thought Dino lost round 1. I thought he won round 2 narrowly, won round 2. And I thought he won round 3 convincingly.
Mm.
Obviously, round 2 was the contentious
Yeah.
round for everyone. And the judge that did score it in Dino's favour gave him round 2.
Mm.
But then there was a lot of people saying that even though he controlled the actual position, he took a lot of damage in round 2 while trying to get to the position. I don't see that specifically. I think he edged out round 2 and he was super emphatic on round 3. But he showed like a decent little wrestling game there.
Yeah.
With the cage work.
A little too late. He could have got to that a bit earlier.
I think that was meant to be the plan, was to like
Yeah.
hit the wrestling from the get-go. But then round 1 became a kickboxing affair.
Yeah, but you see, then this is what we spoke about in the episode before, was the danger for Dino was going to be getting sucked into that brawl. And he got sucked into that firefight in the first round. You know what I mean? And, I mean, Dino is not... I hate having to say this, but Dino is not a one-punch knockout artist. Do you know what I mean? He's a volume fighter. He's a technical striker. He's... You know, so why would you get sucked into that fight? That's just his
Yeah.
fighting style. That's his nature.
Yeah.
And that's why we love him. You know what I mean? That's what makes him so exciting. But his danger was always going to be... He conceded that first round for being sucked out of his game plan.
Yeah.
That's what happened. You know what I mean? And like, that fight ended, and our both reaction was split decision for sure.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to go Dino's way. I really did. I
Yeah.
just felt like he had done that a little bit more, but there was 100% if it went to Kanyeba, I was like, well, it's out there. You know what I mean? It can go either way.
It was super close, but I
Super
think
close,
I
dude.
think Dino did enough to win. It's just, I'd like to know the thought behind the judges that did score it Kanyeba's way. Like, what was the defining factor
Yeah.
that won him round 2?
Dude, it was such... Like, 1 and 3 were quite clear for me. Two,
Yeah, I mean, it
two
was-
it comes down to how you see it. And you know, in this game, if you support Anisette, you're going to 100% say he won that round. You support Dino, you're going to 100% say he won that round. And if you're in between, you're going to say, look, it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
That's where I see it. Look, I don't think there was anything too crazy about the judges in that card, in that fight. But it was razor thin.
Really good fight, though.
Razor thin, yeah.
Really good fight.
Super good fight, dude. Hats off to both dudes. Hats off to Dino for fucking still bringing it. Hats off to Anisette for coming up on late notice.
That
and
fight
putting on
was
a fucking
1,000
show, dude.
times better than the original
Yeah,
matchup.
yeah, 100%. And that's what we all said straight off
Yeah.
the bat. Was like, this is a way better
Even
fight.
Graham agreed to that.
And Anisette is a unit at welterweight, dude. It's quite
Yeah.
scary actually. I mean, he's big at, not massive, but he looked pretty good at that
Yeah.
weight division.
And it's
And his boxing is slick, man. His
he kept
hands
catching
his
Dino
hands
with
are
an
getting-
uppercut.
yeah.
You know, you see how well he was doing that?
Yeah. His hands
he
are
was
really,
timing
really
it.
slick. And I think the biggest thing with Anisette is where you lose the fight with him is you underestimate him.
Well, everyone remembers Anisette that debuted in the EFC. They forget that he's had 21 fights now in the
Yeah,
UFC.
I think he's had the most fights in the UFC, barring Andrew Fanzel maybe.
I think he is now the number one.
Yeah, dude. Says a lot about who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, look,
And he
like,
looks in great shape at this stage.
dude. And like, okay, I wasn't the biggest keen on him getting a title shot, but fuck for sure, let's maybe start to think about that, dude.
Yeah.
You know,
What did Graham say about the title shot?
dude. And he said Kanyeba versus Saxon Delafield for number one contender for lightweight is the fight to make. 100%, that's the fight
I
to make.
definitely agree.
I know Andy said wants the title.
What's
but
happening with
it's Brew. It's all up in the air.
what about Elaine though? I thought Elaine was meant to be Elaine and
Well-
Joe, but then both of them were apparently going to be put into Ryzen.
Yeah, I think Joe was going to Ryzen originally, but then I think he's trying to pursue something else from City Kickboxing, and then they off. It sounded like
From City Kickboxing.
yeah,
Is he relocated to New
I
Zealand?
don't know if he's there permanently, but he was there. He's been there for a while. I don't know if he's still there. He might have left already, but he was there for some time. Yeah.
Makes sense.
So
Eugene
then-
Berman is
yeah,
a
beast.
monster, bro.
And it sounded like they had offered Elaine in his place for Ryzen, but it hasn't materialized.
Okay.
That's from so obviously now it's all up in the air. So
Well,
in
if
the
what-
meantime, if Joe Cummins isn't coming back for the foreseeable future, set up I don't know, interim titles are bullshit, but set it up. You know what I mean?
Are you saying make Anisette and Saxon fight and the winner fights
Correct.
Elaine for the interim
Vacant
title?
So you can
Makes
go
sense.
interim title, you could go number one contender.
It's a long time though for Elaine though, hey?
It is, bro. But I mean, it could be the first event of next year. It's not that
But Elaine
bad.
and Anisette have already fought. Elaine
Decision.
Elaine took him 3 rounds
Yeah,
and
3
just
rounds.
kicked him to shreds, right?
But still, bro. I mean, if
So then
that's what's happening.
Then you'd have to imagine Saxon gets the nod over Anisette if it's the Elaine fight.
I think
Because you want to see something different.
Saxon got knocked out quick stick by Anderson for the last fight.
Yeah.
MMA math, eh?
Dude, and let me tell you, so when we posted the poster, I hope Saxon's okay with me mentioning this, but I think they're all gonna come on and say it anyway, that he said he's 100%, he's basically in camp right now, in case someone pulls out between Luke Michael and Temaguru.
Is it?
Yeah, he's like, I'm staying ready, dude.
That's awesome.
I'm staying ready.
What's
That's
happening
smart,
with
dude.
Luke?
Who knows, bro? Who knows? Who knows? Let's see. Don't know where he is. Hopefully he's training, bro.
We lost that bet, but I'll actually win with Anisette.
You forced me. You forced me.
No, you can take it. You can take it.
Fine.
No, I'm saying you can take like not having to drink.
No, I'll drink it, bro. I'm not. I don't have to cut 900 grams for 80cc.
I'm gonna go do that ref course. I'm gonna hopefully ref.
Hope that you never get Warren as your ref. Oh, and this is the one everyone's talking about.
No. You missed one. Come, MMA Republic.
Oh shit! Because it's not on the list there. Oh Jesus! Madiba versus Pierre Boita.
Ooh, yeah.
So I mean, I've thought a lot about this fight. For those of you who don't know, it was a very quick stoppage. The fight didn't last very long. At a quick glance, it looked like Pierre dropped Madiba and TKO'd him quickly, right? You wouldn't be too far off if that's what you saw, right? If you just looked up and you saw all the chaos. But if you're a little bit closer and you're paying a lot of attention, you would have noticed that.
I don't think there's video of it, yeah, boy.
You would have noticed that Madiba actually trips going backwards.
There's
'Cause
a
obviously,
leg tanglement.
Pierre rushed Madiba, right? And he did connect with one of the shots that hit him like on the side of the ear. And Madiba kind of like lost his balance and fell backwards. But was immediately back in the fight. Like as it hit the ground and Pierre jumped on him, he was immediately back in the fight and went for the single.
And Pierre didn't really land anything while he was on the ground either. Am I right to assume that?
Yeah. So the problem was that most of the visual that you could see of the fight happened on if Pierre had his back towards you, it happened on the left hand side.
Yeah.
But Bobby was unfortunately positioned on the right hand side.
Yeah.
So it is completely understandable that what Bobby saw looked quite bad, right? It looked like Madiba had been dropped. But when you obviously being on the other side of that altercation, you could see that that wasn't the situation. He did get caught with one shot, but he wasn't on his way out yet. So Bobby obviously jumped in and stopped it to protect Madiba, and it was a very quick stoppage.
Yeah.
But
Dude,
to defend Bobby,
yeah.
he had like a split second to make this decision, and the angle he was standing at was pretty bad, right? For the visual on what was going on. You can't blame Madiba for being upset, and you can't blame Pierre for being happy that he won.
Yeah.
So it's like a weird situation. Like
Look,
personally,
also,
I want to see them redo that.
Yeah, 100%.
Completely. Do it at the very next event.
100%. It's not even messing around.
Yeah.
Look, dude, the thing is for me, I think everyone's lashing out at Bobby. I think that's an unfair assessment because South African MMA fans can be quite narrow-minded.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that the gold standard the week before, Herb Dean, let two dudes go to sleep because he was on the wrong side.
Yeah.
And missed the tap on two
Or
fights.
But Herb Dean, like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, called a stoppage for a TKO where the guy wasn't even slightly injured.
Dude, look at
the
these
highest
things happen,
level,
bro.
these guys
These
make
things happen. I don't think Bobby's not trying to like fuck anybody out. He was my only gruntment with Bobby was that the dude wasn't taking much punishment on the ground. Like, so for sure, let the next transition happen. You know what I mean? Especially if you've seen the single leg. But I think it happened so quickly. Like, we could see in the replay from where we were sitting. There's I think it's like a wild right hook that catches.
Yeah, so he
Madiba
catches
on
a
the
couple
ear.
on the arms, and then it like hits the right hook hits him on
and
the
then
ear.
Pierre almost steps in with his right foot, and their legs make contact, and that's sort of how he goes down.
Yeah.
I don't think he was rattled at all. I honestly don't believe that.
And Pierre covers distance pretty quickly, right?
Yeah.
So
It's like a blitz attack.
Madiba was trying to get away from the actual blitz, and it was through that whole process that he fell backwards, right? So it looked bad, but yeah, it was definitely, with hindsight now, it was definitely an early stoppage.
Yeah, for sure.
But you can also understand Bobby making that call.
It's a mistake, bro. It's a mistake, and they happen.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not. You can't. Bobby's not a dickhead. He's not a bad referee. It's just these things happen. It happens in every event. It happens to fucking Herb Dean, bro.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody can argue with me that barring John McCarthy, he's the boss, bro.
Yeah,
he's the main guy. And I mean, it happens, dude. It's very similar. You could make the same argument for Ben Askren, Robbie Lawler. It's one of those things. You
also listen to the crowd and they're like shitting on Pierre for being happy that he won. But
I think the way Pierre celebrated was a bit strange. Even I was like, okay, cool, dude.
No, but you can understand that he's in his
done
mind,
his job,
he's
bro.
just won a title shot.
But he's also done his job, dude.
Yeah.
He's done his job.
So I mean, you can't be upset with Pierre. You can't be upset with Madiba being upset about it.
The only thing we can be upset is about not making that fight.
Yeah, 100%.
I messaged Graham today. I was like, was the thing dropping again?
No, I almost dropped that table. Yeah.
Oh, good lordy. For sure, put that rematch on. That I don't know if people are going to get to see what happened before the press conference.
That'll be like the fourth time they fight, eh?
Yeah, but anyway, let's get it on, dude.
I think as amateurs they were. I think Madiba went 0-2 against Pierre as amateur, and then he beat him as a pro. So I think this, and then you've got this one now. So it's 1-1 as a pro, 0-2 as an amateur. So this will be the fifth time they fight, if you redo the fight. But I think you can scrap the amateur results.
Well, let's see Madiba go back to bantamweight and fight Urshad Syed again. Sign me up, dog. Sign me up. Yeah, dude. Let's get it on, bro. If you want to do that, because listen, that's cool. I get what you're saying. But do you want to watch Pierre Botha fight Iga Cabeza for what seems like the 10th time because his brother fought? It's like watching the same thing. It's like watching the same thing just happen. Continues. It's like Groundhog Day, dude.
It is a bit difficult making that Pierre fight happen again. It's just difficult because there's two recent fights between them that you can reference that didn't go well.
No. And 100%, Iga Cabeza will mollywop him again.
Yeah.
But also Iga Cabeza for sure. Please stop drinking at the UFC. It's driving me crazy. For sure, dude. Bro, did you hear the people sitting next to him? Someone was talking and they're just like, shut up. I'm like, come on, bro. This dude's trying to talk, bro. Like, it's his time.
I just saw there was...
And there was like a whole
I saw there was a big altercation at the
Happening
post-fight press
there, bro.
conference.
Because these people are all
And
drinking,
then,
bro.
then
like,
but then it got like a little bit racial as well.
I didn't hear what was happening. I switched off, but it was getting. I'm like, dude, the dude, Faiz Jacob has just won the title. He's trying to say his piece, and now you're telling him to shut
Well,
up.
I just heard a commotion, and then
Look, so just to clear
so-
that up, it's not Igor Cabeza who said that. It was
Yeah.
people that were with him.
Yeah, so I just heard this commotion behind us, and when I turned around, like people were like referencing some racial slur or whatever. Not saying it came from Igor, but all I saw was Igor saying, "Okay, we're sorry."
Yeah.
But yeah, it was I thought, wow, it's about to go down.
Look,
Faiz's
also-
Oaks versus Igor and his.
I also
crew.
do see the irony on telling people to stop drinking when
I didn't say stop drinking.
you were also drinking. So I do see the irony in this situation. But yeah, dude, like, I don't know. It's not a good look, bro. It's not a good look
No,
at all.
not at all.
What about Faiz Jacobs versus Igor Cabeza at featherweight?
I think Faiz is too small at featherweight.
Yeah, I think Faiz walks around at like 64.
I think Igor Cabeza cutting down to bantam makes way more sense.
Yeah.
Way more sense.
Do
I
you-
for
do you
sure
think
wouldn't
Igor
mind seeing
make
that
it?
either. To bantamweight.
Uh,
Dude, I think he literally could sit in the sauna for 5 minutes and he'd make it.
serious.
He doesn't look very far from bantamweight to me.
Um,
But also, look, he's a tall dude, eh? That being said.
but what's happening for him at the moment?
In limbo, bro. I don't know. You'd have to ask his management, bro. Why he's not in the UFC? Because listen, if you can't get that into the UFC, you're going to get no one into the UFC as a management.
Yeah, he blitzed over Danny Henry that first.
And if you are Igor Cabeza, for sure start looking at international management. That's actually going to get you there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, your talent is just going to waste away. He's
Who-
honestly,
who was
Ig-
that,
Ig- Ig-
dark horse?
I don't know what they're on our TM Squared Media. I don't know if that's his manager. Look, I turned around and all that was happening. I could see his manager like dying inside, watching this all unfold. You know what I mean? But for sure, dude. That Igor
But once again, we're
Cabeza-
not saying it was him.
No,
He was
just
he was
see,
just
like-
in the midst of this whole
Yeah,
like altercation.
For sure, Igor Cabeza is probably one of the most talented MMA athletes we have seen in this country.
Yeah.
Without a doubt in my mind. For sure, he's at
With a decent highlight reel now, with the
100%.
spinning back elbow
Dude,
KO,
if you,
the-
bro, he's done all the work. You know what I'm saying?
putting Saput in his place.
My fear is that a talent like Igor Cabeza is at the risk of never achieving what he should, because he just can't get to that next level.
has
that
has
freaks
he
me
tried
out.
to leverage the EFC's communication with international organizations?
Dude, I'm
Even
saying
if you
all
don't
of
go
this.
to
I
the
don't know what's
UFC,
going on, bro.
Even if you don't go to the UFC, and if the EFC's got this connection to Horizon, I mean, surely there's an
Somewhere,
opportunity.
bro. Anywhere, bro.
Yeah.
Anywhere, for sure. Because what are you gonna do? You're gonna fight Pierre Boete again, and then what? Who cares?
Well, that's the
bro?
problem. He's already gone through the entire division, so now he has to restart with the same guys,
Dude, it's a travesty to me that dude's not in the UFC. An
Yeah.
absolute travesty.
Or we could
or
say-
any sort of international. I mean, like, if someone would just sponsor him a ticket to the UK
Yeah.
and he could get into those Bellator or Europe cards,
Yeah, for
where's
sure.
Boyd at? Let's see Boyd fight.
that'd be nice.
I'm not mad at that, Rook. Not mad at that.
That's why he writes the script for this
Yeah.
program.
I like the last bit you did there. man. Anyways.
And then
So
we get
who-
onto the
what
last one.
happens? Okay, so no, well, no.
No,
well,
no,
we're all
we
wrong.
drink.
Mm,
Yeah.
No, I chose Pierre.
I might have
said
chosen
you-
Pierre
I
as
chose
well.
Pierre, and then you told me that then I said, but my heart says Medina, and you said, no, you already chose Pierre, so
I might have chosen Pierre as well. I wasn't that good, so I apologize. Not much better. Oh well, Rock. You're still drinking 4 shots of vodka.
well, after the last fight, 6.
Yeah. That was sad.
And you're going to be drinking alone while we watch you.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting. So yeah, Faiz Zulu boy. What do you, before we get into the fight, what are your thoughts on,
Pour it a double because we're going to have to drink that anyway.
what are your thoughts on people going a bit crazy about the judges?
Okay, so this is my thing, right?
So there's 2 parts to the judges scenario. The first part is, sorry if you can't hear me. The first part is the people obviously not agreeing with the decision, not going Zulu Boy's way. And the other part is that one judge went 49-46 Jacobs, another one 49-46 Zulu. How
yeah.
does that happen? I think that's the big contentions, yeah.
So, I mean, the general consensus in the media section was that it was 2 apiece going into the final round,
into
right?
the fifth, yeah.
Most of the people that were sitting there were all on the same page, that Zulu had won 2, Faiz had won 2. There was one round that Zulu might have won had Faiz not almost snapped his arm off.
Round 1.
Yeah, with the Kimura, right?
First round.
But can you score a round for someone just because of something that happened right there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
so
but
these are the details we got to get into. Yeah.
This is what I'm saying, is that often people's perception of what happens is skewed by a moment in the round, right? And it's not always scored by the majority of what happens in that round.
Yeah.
Okay? If you had to go on the consensus that whoever won the majority of the round, you have to score in their favor, I think Zulu Boy wins, right?
Yeah.
His wrestling was very
That
dominant.
technical cage wrestling was legit.
He was very dominant in there, right? The problem that comes in is that there were 2 very sketchy Kimuras
Yeah.
that looked pretty bad.
The one at the end of the first round, I thought his arm was...
Yeah.
We still thought his shoulder was gone. I
Yeah.
didn't think he was going to be able to use it again.
And
And
then
then he
in the
threw a huge
fifth
overhand.
round, what was happening is that he was dominating the wrestling, but he was getting caught a lot on the way in.
Yeah.
And I think that also pushed the judges to Faiz's side. Now, is it right or wrong? I'd love to get the actual ruling on like how the rounds are meant to be scored in those situations. But from the outset, if you're going on majority of what happens in the round, I think Zulu Boy wins the fight, right?
Can we just get this out of the way? And carry
A
on?
double.
Because the more I sit and look at this, the worse it gets.
Ugh. Tastes like cough mixture.
Tastes like chocolate and tequila.
Tastes like a bad time.
Anyway.
So then I think Zulu Boy wins. But then I do understand the point of like taking the, when I was scoring it on the night, I was taking into consideration that the judges often get swayed by these moments in the fight, right? And a clear example was Michiel Opperman versus Jeremy Smith, where Jeremy won most of the fight, but got dropped in the 3rd round, and then all of a sudden lost the decision, right? And I had like those type of memories in my mind, and I was thinking 2-2, and we get into the last one. Zulu's dominated the wrestling, but he's been hit a lot on the way in, okay? Because there was a couple of times where he hit the single and Faiz offloaded on him,
Yeah.
and then Zulu didn't inflict much damage from the wrestling, but he was dominant in the position. So I think it was like a kind of a weird situation. So you kind of understand the 48-47, right?
Yeah. 48-47 was...
But
48-47 would have been a winning score whichever way you looked at it for me.
But how?
49-46 is straight.
But how
for me.
2 judges that have got the same training, one says 49-46, and the other one to Zulu, and the other one says 49-46 Faiz, just absolutely blows my mind.
Yeah, it's very confusing. So initially, we both had it in our heads that if Zulu wanted to win the fight in the 5th round, he needed to pour it on a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe use the wrestling, but let's spend the first half of the round, the first 2 minutes of the round, really offloading, putting him under pressure, putting Faiz on the back foot, and the same for Faiz.
Yeah.
So whoever made the biggest statement would have sewn up the decision. That was the way I felt.
Yeah.
I felt the 5th round was actually quite uneventful for the
Well,
magnitude.
they were jostling for who was going to fight
Exactly.
in whose corner.
For the magnitude of
what was happening.
what was at stake there.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, 100%.
So no one, and if you actually go and watch the fight, I mean, if you haven't seen that fight in particular, it's actually still on DSTV's catch up. And somewhere through the round, you can see Graham in the background standing up and like imploring them to put the hammer down and someone go in and win the fight.
Yeah.
And
It was super close.
it was super close. And so at the time I was like, okay, look, someone's done enough here. I don't know who it is. That was my honest reflection. Going back, that's the first round. Watching the first round again, you started to see the argument for Zulu.
Yeah.
Understand what I'm saying? Because I definitely think you could say he won that round.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The problem was that Kimura, because
Yeah.
at one stage I looked away. I didn't want to see what was
Yeah.
about to happen.
Because it
then
looked
you-
like his shoulder was going to come off.
Yeah. But then you have to remember that Zulu controlled
Yeah, he won that round.
the entire
Okay,
round.
wait, he might have I think it was a big right hand. Faiz caught him with a big right hand in the first round.
Yeah.
A straight right.
But then Faiz also took some damage from
No,
Zulu.
no, for sure. But Zulu was definitely winning that round, and the next contentious thing was the Kimura.
Yeah.
But like you said, look, that doesn't win you that round. But
Well, a good example
that being
is,
said, when judges are scoring opposites like that, there's obviously it's an experience thing. There's an inexperience thing happening there.
Yeah.
So in some judges' minds, seeing that might make them award that round to.
The timing was bad.
Versus Lawler. Conrad
Yeah.
won that fight, technically.
Well, that's a great example.
There's just something big that happened that's when the judge.
No, but what's very critical about that example is that when something big happens at the end of the round,
Yeah.
it sways the judges.
And that's the
Had-
reality, bro. That is the
Had
reality.
Faiz hit that Kimura in the first minute,
Yeah.
and then Zulu poured on the wrestling for the next 4 minutes, I think it becomes clear to everyone that Zulu wins the round, right? But now you have it in reverse, where Zulu was pouring on the wrestling, and Faiz hit the Kimura at the end of the round, and that was the last impression that the judges had to score the round. And
that's the reality of judging, dude.
And then
That is the reality.
even in my mind, I signed it off that Faiz won the round because of the Kimura, right?
Yeah.
Whether that is how it works, I don't think. I think
You know what?
technically
Look, bro,
Zulu
as-
wins the round.
as a human being, that actually erases what just happened.
Yeah.
Because you're so focused, because it was so close and so deep, your adrenaline sparks, you like see all of this, you get emotional,
Yeah.
and you forget what's happened.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And if you think that's not happening to a lot of judges, you're wrong. That's
No,
the reality.
100%.
Because the same thing is happening
But
to
that's
them,
why in
you
my
know what I
mind I wrote it off as Faiz's round.
mean? Yeah.
But as per the rule book,
Yeah.
I don't think it
That's
actually
what I'm
gets
saying.
scored.
So
that
when I
way.
went back and watched it today, you can. I honestly, I think Zulu won that round, and I
Yeah.
think this is where the argument's going to come in. The same like the Dino Bagatti in the round two, how you
it was
saw
the same
that.
problem. It was
How you saw that fight, how you saw that round will depict how you saw a winner, and I think that's what's going to happen. Yeah, in my head at that time, it was going to be a split decision. Sitting there watching it, I didn't know which way it was going to go.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us knew.
yeah.
We were talking about draws. We were talking about split decision. We knew it was going to be razor thin.
Yeah.
The scores that were read out were bullshit. Honestly, they were. You know what I mean? I'd much rather, if it was 48-47, a split decision, 48-47, we all would have gone, fuck, it was tight.
Yeah.
The 49-46 just overshadows everything. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's, how the fuck does it even happen?
But you don't
Look,
you don't even mind if like one
Yeah.
judge went 49-46
Yeah.
and the other two went 48-47 because there's only like one round that's a bit contentious in there.
Sure.
But now you got two judges that saw very different fights.
Yeah, on the complete opposite of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And like a split decision, like that's what it is about. But I mean,
But you want it to be closer in the scorecards.
miles
Yeah.
apart. Look, I don't think can you be mad at the decision going Faiz's way?
No, I mean, as I said, I thought that it was when they were doing the split decision. I thought Faiz was going to win the
Yeah.
split decision, and I even said to Rich on the phone before the split decision
Yeah.
was around, I think the judge is going to give it to Faiz
Yeah.
because the problem is that when in the fifth round we all said 2-2
Yeah.
going into the fifth. The problem was that while Zulu controlled the wrestling, he was eating a lot coming on the way in. You know, like Faiz offloaded with elbows and punches. There was moments where Zulu was stuck in the single leg, and caught some damage. I mean, Zulu's face was physically beat up
Yeah.
after the fight.
Another major factor for me was, and tactically I understood what Zulu was doing, and I've seen it happen quite a few times in South African MMA. Carl Eleanor, Bursky, the first fight, the way Carl had his, that was a weird example because Carl was pressing and Bursky was almost like sitting against the cage. And Zulu Boy was doing a sort of similar kind of thing, trying to draw him back into his corner, and spent a lot of time, which made it look like Faiz was progressing and controlling the hexagon. And that obviously has an influence on how you score the fight.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time in the stand-up, it probably was a negative look on what Zulu Boy was doing. We knew that he was trying to suck him into his corner so he could stay in his corner.
Yeah.
But the judges would have seen that as him, backpedaling a lot and giving Faiz that opportunity to keep coming forward.
Yeah.
I do apologize. My cat is now chewing my headphones.
Um,
Hey, bro.
but
Take it easy, man.
big ups to Faiz for rising to the occasion, and big ups to Zulu Boy for showing a massive progression technically in his game. You know?
And having the guts to go out and do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To not abandon, but change his fighting style, evolve,
Yeah.
take risks, go up to fucking bantamweight. You know what I'm saying? So, big ups. I don't know what that thing is saying.
Is it still going?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it might be a memory card thing, but it's fine. We cool. Hey man.
The
Well, yeah, the
fortunately,
thing
you
that
know.
Zulu's improvement was that vast, just from his
like
Hadley
4
fights.
weeks, bro. Also,
His
4
Hadley
weeks
fights.
under at Coach Kwan.
What's gonna happen when he's spent some serious time there? You're gonna end up with
Yeah.
a package.
No, 100%. But it was
Look,
it was a
the-
bit weird though that it was the corner was a bit. I suppose you want to have a bit of familiarity, but the corner was a bit split in terms of who was cornering and stuff. So,
Yeah,
but I mean, I can understand it. I mean, I'm talking shit.
it's teething problems of changing camps.
Yeah,
Dude,
always,
look,
it's always difficult
I
changing
think-
camps.
I think realistically, I think a lot of people in the right mind would respect what Zulu Boy did. A lot of people love to see the narrative of Faiz Jacobs and all he's achieved. It's a very special one for me, personally, being the guy who sat in, being driven by that kid as an Uber.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And listening to what he had to say and how, like, positive and how sure he was of himself and speaking to him in that time between from there to the EFC, you know what I mean? Like, putting his stuff out and sending it to Graham and, like, you know, like, being involved in that part of it. Watching him make his debut, cornering against him, and then watching him win the title. Like, it was quite a special thing for me to see, you know what I mean? And it was such a... It's horrible to see a guy like Zulu lose, you know what I mean, especially in a razor-sharp decision that he could have won. But at the same time, it's such a cool story, and there's two guys that were respectful to each other. And I mean, look, at the end of the day, realistically, Zulu Boy, Faiz was taking all the risks in that fight, bro. Zulu Boy, yeah, listen, dude, I'm a small flyweight, yeah, you know, coming up to bantamweight.
yeah. I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
Zulu looked definitely outsized. There.
Dude, I think Zulu Boy's...
It was it was like really weird that, you know.
The best is yet to come for Zulu Boy, is what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say, bro. That's the way I see it.
But well done to Faiz. I mean, that was.
Yeah, shout out to Faiz.
When I
man.
spoke to
what
him,
a story, dude.
You saw him limping onto the cage.
Dude, he was in
Do you
pain.
know? Do you know he blew his knee out in the first round?
Yeah, I believe so.
Was it from one of the Zulu kicks?
Probably.
How mental was it when Faiz threw that head kick? Zulu rolled under the head kick and then hit the
Single.
takedown. I mean, like
Yeah.
the type of reaction time that was in there was phenomenal.
What do you do with Zulu Boy now?
He
Well, look,
has to go back down to featherweight. He
Again,
has
I
to go
don't know
back
if
down
you
to
guys are going to
flyweight.
see what happened. If that's going to come out in the press conference. Him and Graham having a full tiff. For sure, that's not the right way
Yes,
to
it-
go about it. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens now.
They should have given Graham the mic so we could at least hear what Graham's rebuttal was.
Yeah, dude, it's never great to see that stuff.
No. It's
No, it's not up, dude. I don't think. Click videos.
DAZN sometimes has that highlight package, eh?
I don't think it's been released yet.
Oh, the press conference. Yeah.
Maybe
I'm
they're
sure-
trying,
I'm
maybe
sure
they're
that
trying
I'm-
to decide what to do with that.
I'm sure they're gonna edit out that piece though.
I don't think so.
Don't you?
I think so.
I think,
Look, Zulu
I think
boy-
it was a bad
Zulu-
look for both people.
Zulu Boy was upset. Bro, like the thing is,
But
like,
he
people
was
have to
emo-
understand
yeah.
with fighters, bro. It's emotional, man. Like,
No, I can
just
imagine.
let's consider the emotions. Let's just relax. Like,
So maybe just
like-
for everyone who's watching or listening, just explain what the actual argument was about.
so
Well,
Zulu.
it came from your questions.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
You asked the question, bro.
I asked the question. I said, "What's next for you? Are you going to stay at bantamweight or are you going back down to flyweight?"
Yeah.
And then Zulu Boy's response was like, "Actually, thank you for that question. I wanted the Jake Hadley fight," and then that's where it sparked off.
So Zulu Boy, and this was my reaction. Zulu Boy deserved that rematch.
Yeah, just because
Because
of his
he-
body of work.
Yeah, he's been a champion for so long. He's been such a dominant champion, for sure, bro. He lost the decision. Give him the rematch. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? If he got knocked out in the first minute, I say, bro, there's no point in that rematch. And Graham's argument to say straight away to him, which I didn't agree with, was the fight would have gone the same way.
Yeah, I don't
know
think
what
you
I'm
can say
saying?
that.
Like, you can't, and for sure, that's also not the time to bring this up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I understand Zulu's frustration that maybe he saw an opportunity with a platform to really hit his point home to say, look, he actually wanted the Hagley rematch. He actually didn't want this fight, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But he just took it. Those were the chips drawn. But at the same time, wanted to say, look, I'm changing camp. Let me take some time off. You know what I mean?
So-
Like it's hard, but it's hard
so-
to. There's financial stuff in the background. There's career stuff in the background. There's so much shit going on. You know what I mean?
So just to elaborate a bit further, Zulu blamed the EFC for the decision,
Yeah.
right? Which, if you take a step back, EFC doesn't actually have a control
Yeah.
over what the decision is. It's done by Massa. Massa appoints the judges for the bout, and the Massa judges had this issued this scoring for the bout. So Zulu was implying that because he's at Coach Kwan and he's training with JP, that this is why this happened. So I don't think it was a fair criticism on the EFC. It might be a fair criticism on whoever was judging. I don't know who.
Yeah.
I can't remember who the judges were for that fight. I don't know if there was any sort of bias, but I doubt it. But yeah, that was what he was saying. And Graham took offense to them saying that it
Yeah.
was the EFC's fault that he lost the fight, where the EFC don't have any control over what the results are.
Yeah, dude. I think that whole situation from both dudes could have been handled a little bit better.
I say
That's the reality.
I say just cut that piece out of the press conference and
Well,
just move along.
we've just spoken about it, so now it's out there.
Yeah.
But anyway, like, you know, let's also give our champions the respect. That's also my
Yeah.
argument, and also let's champions not try and.
I think Zulu.
Let's not take on the promotion like that. Go and chat to them afterwards. Let the emotions settle down. You know, have you ever heard Joe Rogan's bit about whacking off before you do things? This isn't the time to be whacking off, but you know what I'm saying. Like, let's just get rid of some. Let's just get rid of some emotions before we talk. You know, but I mean, like, I get it, bro.
Yeah.
Dude's emotional, bro. Like, and he has every right to be. So, you know, like, also, like, Graham, for sure, like, just be like, Zulu, let's talk about this afterwards. You know what I mean? That's what would have made sense from
Yeah.
both sides. But I mean, like, look, dude, it is what it is, man. I feel bad for Zulu boy. I'm happy for Faiz Jacobs. Overall, fucking great night of fights. Great
Yeah.
production. The production was
Oh,
insane.
we haven't spoken about the production value that we were given.
Dude, it
It
was
was epic.
insane. Being in there, I got so excited when I walked in. I was like a
Yeah.
little kid. I was like, oh my word, this is. It felt like I was in Madison Square Gardens, honestly.
No, it was amazing.
That's how I would imagine Madison Square Gardens being.
So we were talking about this off air, but when I saw some of the social media,
Well, it was on air, but some of them press record. So
some of the social media like started getting us quite excited. I saw Anton posting
Yeah.
photos of these guys in front of these screens, and I was like, "Wow, the EFC have gone tilt on this event, right?" So I get there, and I'm like, I'm so excited. I see Given Majuba. We got there for Given's
yeah,
walkout.
thanks, Rourke.
Actually, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. Coach.
Yeah. So we get there and it was epic, and I see Cairo between the fights and we're chatting, and I was like, "What? This is amazing!" You know, like there's one thing to follow the UFC model, but you know some promotions do better than the UFC in certain areas, and this is way better than
Yeah.
following the UFC model. It's like, yeah. It was like kind of inherited though from someone else's event the day before, but I think it caused so much hype that you definitely have to make some sort of effort to keep
Yeah.
a part of that.
So I got to meet the general manager of Times Square. Was sitting with Cairo, and Cairo was like, "Yeah." I was like, "For sure, let's keep this for the next event." He's like, "Yeah, speak to this dude," and we were like having like a bit of banter, you know. And I was like, "Yeah, for sure, just leave these things here."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah." When Cairo signs UFC, I'm like, "Look, if you keep this stuff, we probably will sign the UFC. So let's maybe just leave it here for
Yeah.
now." He was actually very funny about it, so it's quite cool. Hopefully we get to see that again.
I
'Cause
wonder what the cost of
shit.
that LED LCD.
$1 million.
Jeez, like,
I don't know, bro, but
Yeah.
it doesn't look cheap. I tell you that much.
it looked amazing, and you know, even with they had very little time to adapt for it. I mean, they didn't have any time to put
Yeah.
like specific graphics in that for those screens, and that still looked amazing.
Dude, it was insane.
And that walkout was amazing.
It was insane.
And then I don't know if people realize, but in between fights, the screen went black and then had like a photo, like it looked like people were taking photos in the background. That was like the type of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
graphic, and that looked phenomenal. But yeah, I don't know if we're gonna see it again, unfortunately.
Good night, though. Very,
Yeah.
very good night. It was
Epic
one of
night.
those nights that made you feel good about the EFC. That
Yeah.
was what I left there. I felt pumped. Woke up the next day, I felt like I had a hangover. I was so tired. I was like, what happened? Like a fight hangover.
And as being a parent, your kids are like
Yeah, my daughter was
6
like,
o'clock in the morning.
no stress, sleep until 5:30. Yeah,
Oh,
but I
man.
think that's it, bro.
Yeah.
Hell of a fight night.
What's happening this weekend?
UFC, bro.
That's gonna be a sweet little card.
DC, Stipe, Pettis, Diaz.
Some grappling comps this weekend.
Yeah,
Submission Quest. Rourke is busy cutting weight.
yeah.
I think I'm just gonna ref it. Submission Quest. And then following weekend we got Alpha. Is the Victor grappling comp and the Alpha MMA event on the same night?
Same people, yeah.
Yeah, it's not the same people, but I just kept making sure that it was double. So Alpha MMA 2 is coming up next weekend.
2 or 3.
2. Isn't it 2?
Sure, it's 3.
3.
Yeah, 3. Yeah. Time flies, bro.
Do we know who's on that card yet?
No idea.
We can check next week, I suppose.
Yeah, let's for sure not check that.
And then ADCC
Yeah,
the following
Alpha
weekend.
3. Ooh.
That's going to be good, eh?
Clear your calendar, boys.
At Mall of Africa, 31 August.
Fantastic. For those of you in the area, I must give a little shout out to Gracie Bahailova that's having trying to organize a massive open mat Saturday, 9 o'clock. Take dog food, blankets, that sort of stuff. They're trying to raise some stuff for animals.
Oh, they're doing it on the morning of the competition.
No, this Saturday coming up, 17th.
Yeah.
Is it Victor?
Submission Quest.
I mean, fuck Submission Quest. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Go to open mat to get warmed up and then head over to Submission Quest.
Awesome.
Cool.
Sweet
That's
guys.
it. Chat to you soon. Peace.